Here we go. This is it. Maybe I shouldn't have sit on this side because the mic's on the other side. Mic's on this side.
What's Morphin time? Or something. Hey guys, what's this panel about?
No, they're not showing it, are they? We'll torture you guys like that one day.
I dare you to go.
Long flowing locks.
It's alright.
What time does it start?
Now.
So this is a Q&A we're thinking.
You guys get the cues, we get the A's.
Yes, we have Q&A's.
So, let's start off here with our, everyone give a warm round of applause to
Yay.
the Power Rangers the movie and Turbo Power Rangers the movie cast and crew.
This is panel A, pretty much.
I'd like to start with the cast introduce themselves. Hi, I'm Jason Nardi.
I'm Blake Foster. I'm John Gilmer.
Gabrielle Fitzpatrick.
Everybody there, winning? He's the director.
Right.
Okay. All right. So what's your name? Yes, I know your names now. All right, let's get started. Each of you tell a favorite anecdote from the filming of Power Rangers, a movie, or Turbo's Power Rangers. Our favorite anecdote. An anecdote is a short story. Often hilarious. Okay, my favorite. Watching Gabrielle, actually. That's not an anecdote at all, is it? That's not an anecdote.
I was going to say the same thing. I didn't want to be the only guy like looking it up.
Go ahead, Doctor. Go on.
Let's just tell you some short.
Oh, late arrival. You gotta be good over here. Sit over there. All right, next way. Extra seat for Nakia.
I didn't want to sit next to me. Because it's awkward. They tried to make us a couple on the show. Who are you?
I haven't seen Johnny since 1953. I was just like, oh my goodness, Johnny, and he didn't want me to buy him or anything. So I didn't buy him.
She has sweaty hands.
I'm Nakia Maurice and I play Tanya in Zeo and Turbo.
So, Kia, we have just each one of us told a lengthy anecdote about the movie. What is yours?
Our favorite part?
Anecdote. Oh, jeez.
Now I'm back in school.
I just told her an anecdote. She knows what it is. Why? It's like something you know out of her brain. He's like, okay, here's a really tough question. Name something that happened to you once. I don't think anything. haven't seen him since the show went off the air.
You guys remember when you were monkeys?
See, an anecdote is supposed to be humorous. And not a single person was freaking laughing here. Monkeys weren't funny.
Hey man, they made us kids, alright? They made us kids. I remember.
Okay, let's hit this line. Let's hit this line. Questions? Okay, next. Yes. Location shooting. Fun times there. Anything. Locations.
Can't stay.
Reminds me of a short anecdote. We're filming my movie about Rangers. Okay, location shots. Location.
San Pedro, Dana Point. I didn't get a chance to travel, everybody else did. He went to Hawaii, he went to Tennessee. I went to San Pedro. And Castaic Lake.
Well, it's always funny. Yeah, lots of big. People always ask, what's the difference between the first movie and the second movie? Well, we said the first movie was in Australia. The second movie was in Santa Monica. What? I mean, come on. But we did have David Whitting on the second movie. He actually knows how to deal with that.
And having only the one Power Rangers experience, the movie, as my whole frame of reference, everyone should ask me all the trivia questions. I have no idea. In 1996, guys, somebody had the brilliant idea of saying, why don't we take a Sweet Valley High director and give him the sequel to the Power Rangers movie? What better choice? So that was me. I've had a great time. I haven't seen these wonderful people for 16 years, so they probably didn't even know who it was. All good. It's all good.
You didn't know who I was, that's for sure.
I didn't.
Hey, my favorite memory of the Power Rangers tournament movie is when David Whitting got fired.
It's later. It's the After Dark tonight. It's not the
Let's start with that. Let's talk about David Whitting. All right, let's hit these questions right here.
All right. First, questions for John, okay? I watched on YouTube videos, okay? And water conventions in Hamlet, you said in both movies that you didn't like the frog and you didn't like the minivan, and why was that?
Okay, so I don't know what they showed on the YouTube thing, but
You go to other conventions?
yeah.
And you're another panel?
The question's over. I'm answering it. So in the original script, the script went through a few changes, and I remember approaching the director in the first one because I thought that the frog was kind of weird and weak, and I had asked if they could be bummed about it, and he wanted me to do it as the script is written first, and then we tried the other one. And so we tried it, like being bummed out, and they liked it. And then I also got to get kissed on the forehead, which was kind of cool. And then I approached him on the second movie because in the second movie, everyone got really cool cars, and I got the green minivan, right? so I thought, oh, wouldn't that be kind of cool? Like, if I was upset about having a minivan and complained about I was a frog and I got a minivan, I don't even have a family. You know, I thought that would be funny. But the producers were
The
like,
character didn't have a family? Even we had parents.
no, I like some old monk.
This is an old monkey.
Old monk. We don't know what that monkey.
I want to make a comment about the minivan. My mom drives a minivan.
I mean, they're cool. I mean, I like them. It's not that I don't like minivans. I mean, it's awesome, and I think that likes minivans.
Next. Thanks, man. What was your favorite part about working in the movies? I think the cool thing about the movies, aside from the Australian versus Santa Monica, is that when we shot the show, we were rushed. Okay, the movie that had all the time in the world. I think that's probably the first thing that was cool. Plus, we got to see them reimagine the franchise. Don't forget, coming into it, we were sort of taking the hand-me-downs from Japanese footage. So for the movies, directors like David got to say, well, how do we reimagine this as an American product from the get-go? What do you think? Totally.
I totally agree. I'm
sorry.
Sorry. Yes, how my mom was.
I was asking about his mom. His mom's from.
I think my favorite part was just doing the movie, period. Just getting the experience of doing a movie. Really great moments and not so great moments, but I think overall, just having the opportunity to film a movie. I mean, that's dreams for some people, and it fulfilled one of mine, so. Thanks!
It wasn't that amusing.
My favorite part was working with Johnny Bosch.
Yes, this question is regarding the movies and with anniversary. Do you have any plans coming up for a Blu-ray release? Because I'm really interested in catching any kind of deleted scenes involving Johnny in Turbo with the mermaid. And the training montage in the Power Rangers movie. I don't know any of that. I don't know if anybody knows any of that.
We're pretty much the last people to get to know them.
What did John do with the mermaid?
There's like a whole thing cut out of this thing.
It's after dark.
I think actually the original cut of the movie was 3 hours long. This is just about before I left. It was 3 hours long and also some great stuff with the mermaid. I remember freezing in some lake, shooting the mermaid. And there was also a great sequence with the flamethrower, crocodile, and I'm sure Catherine remembers all that stuff. And I don't know where, maybe it's in a vault somewhere. Yeah.
Shoot fireworks out of their nostrils! Mermaid!
This is a different question for everyone. When you come to these conventions and other similar events, how do you look back on your experience on Power Rangers as a whole and what it means to you?
For me, I just like you were saying, when we were shooting, we were kind of in a bubble. It was so fast, and we were kind of in this little world, and then we stepped out and got to experience what you guys saw much later than what we were filming. Does that make sense? I'm talking in riddles here. And so when we come to these things and see the impact that the show still has, it's very overwhelming. It's great. I mean, when you say it was like.
Part was like seeing you guys and stuff. It kind of feels like high school reunion.
Yeah. but like we were all us.
Everybody knew us. Maybe they didn't always like us, but it's like huge chunk for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me it was like I was watching a TV show growing up with Power Rangers, and then all of a sudden I'm on set working with the Power Rangers. I'll never forget like the first day that I actually went to the sound studio, and I was just sitting in the room. All the Power Rangers started walking in, and I was like, oh my god. We should just prank. So it was really cool, you know, but yeah, it's like he said, it's kind of like a high school reunion now. I'm older now. I am actually hanging out with teachers, so that's awesome.
For me, it's a lot of, it's kind of gratitude. I got a chance to start, because I was behind the scenes, and I got a chance to help create a TV show from blank page to hits, because of what these guys did. But And it was, and I had never experienced that before. So I have an awful lot of gratitude because it really kind of gave me a career boost. I got to involved in something really major and get to know these. So thank you. So that's helpful.
Well, hello, I'm Gabrielle. You don't know me, but I play Dulcie in Red Blonde Hair.
Chicago, I have to say, and I'm sure I'm speaking for them as well, what a blessing that this far just to see us and to meet us. We're very honored. No one could have told me 15 years ago that people would still remember Tanya and remember Power Rangers and remember more things than I do. Remember how to morph. Some of them are teaching me. But anyway, so I just wanted to thank you and just say this has been a wonderful experience for me.
This is a question for everybody. I'm not sure like where you guys from like originally, but like I just wanted to see like what was the first thing you guys did when you got off the bus and then on the plane and you came to Hollywood. Was like
even if we're when you think about it, yeah, I remember the anecdote. I'm not going to tell it to you. For those of us who weren't born here, or who were, it's not as quite as exciting. It's sort of assumed in California, because we have this myth that we don't have a class system in California, that in order to become royalty or successful and become a movie star, that man has a loaded weapon! Arrest him! No? Okay. So going to Hollywood is not like, ooh, wow! It's kind of what you're expected to do, you know? It's almost like, maybe it's like more like living in a coal mining town. You're in the work of the mine. You don't walk there and be like, wow, I'm in a mine. So that being said, the first thing I did was go to Strasbourg, take acting lessons.
Well, my first step off the plane, I was met. It was very glamorous, and it seemed like a wake up to reality. But I was met by Shinky, the producer, in a limousine, and taken to lunch, and I got a car and an apartment, and then the year later, I was on my own. No, it was very glamorous, and actually these guys were all touring, doing a press junket for the first movie, so I was on my own for the first couple of weeks, and then when they came back, it was the premiere of the movie, and I, like everyone, didn't know anything about the show when I was cast, and so I kind of walked into this mayhem of fandom and craziness, and these guys were just like superstars, and I was like, oh, whoa, this is a big deal. So, yeah, it was crazy. Came when you were doing your first stunt at the first movie. I was attending UCLA when I auditioned for Power Rangers. I was in my junior year. And by the grace of God, I graduated and was still doing the show at the same time. And I remember my first day on set, I didn't want to do anything wrong. I didn't care if they messed up my makeup, my hair looked like a hot mess. I was just very grateful to be there. And everybody was very welcoming. Got tested a couple times by some of the actors. Well, one of the actors. Anyway, but you know, it was a really, really great experience. I don't know if I answered your question.
I don't really remember, like, I mean, I flew in, but I don't remember being picked up by a limo or anything cool. I do remember that they took a few of us to El Torito. And that didn't go over very well. I had a terrible night that night after El Torito. And then I had auditions in the morning, which was lovely. But I do remember the first time where it really hit me was like a couple weeks into it, because as soon as I signed that contract, it was wardrobe, makeup, it was whatever, like everything. Oh, you don't sound Asian enough, let's put young in your name. You know, and so there's like all this stuff, and then it was like, and we did, it wasn't really rehearsals, we just like started. It was like, go. And it wasn't until like a couple weeks in, and I was like in rollerblades, and it's early in the morning, it's like dew on the grass at Castaic, and you know, and I was from Texas, you know, and it's just the air was very different, you know, and they're setting up lights, and I was kind of by myself because I wasn't a very good rollerblader, and I was like, what the hell do I do? And I was just sitting out there, and I'm just by myself, and I'm looking around, and it hit me like, holy cow, this is my dream, to be like here in kind of Hollywood and doing this. It was like totally my dream, and it just hit me all at once, you know. And took quite a bit not to just kind of like tear up like a baby and cry. It was a good moment, you know, and it was like, all right, let's go! And Jeff Crow got mad at me for something, because I couldn't physical act very well. Yeah, poor act. And, but it was great. It was a good time. I mean, the whole experience for me, I mean, there was good and bad things, and I was a douche at certain times, you know. And I say that because, like, there are moments, you know, you have good and bad days, and I've had some bad days. But I've had good days too. But it was a roller coaster ride, you know, and it's just totally awesome. Like, I had a wonderful time.
Young is not your real name?
No. That's my name.
I just sent you an email like yesterday.
I know. My middle name is Jay.
You could have said it's Jay?
Yeah, my middle name is Jay, but then when I got there, they're like, that doesn't sound Asian enough. And then they were like, so what's your mom's name? She's like Chinese or something, right? And I was like, well, she's Korean. Her name's Young. And then they were like, okay, that'll work. And I was like, what do you mean? Johnny Young Bosch. I was like, okay.
Oh, wow.
Are you serious? Yeah. Your real name is not Young?
I just said it twice.
Wow.
I still use it because you can't change it now.
I dropped that from all my emails.
They even made me take my eyes back a little too. So
Oh, Johnny. Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
Okay, my question is for Blake.
Here we go.
How did it make you feel like when you first realized, even though you were a kid on the show, that kids that were your age looked up to you?
All right, who's the kid in here?
Woo!
I am.
Hey, you're not. Yeah. All right. I don't know, like I said numerous times, growing up, like getting off the school bus, running home to watch Mighty Morphin was like my thing. Like, you know, for pretty much everybody out there, it was probably the same thing. If not, then boom. But, so yeah, getting home, watching Power Rangers. I had all the toys. Like, I still have them. I was at my mom's house yesterday. She opened the trunk. She's like, look at this. And I was like, no, it's not. She was like, yeah, let's look. Let's reminisce. I was like, all right. I saw like this guy over here. saw all of them. And I was like, hey, you know what? It was an awesome experience because, you know, no matter what, nowadays, Facebook, everything that I'm doing, it's all related. Like, all my friends know me. Like, everybody in my phone book. If I call them, I'll call somebody right now and they'll be like Blue Ranger calling, you know? So, it's pretty awesome.
Hi, this question is for everyone, and I wanted to know, like, what was, like, the best thing that's happened to you on set, or the funniest thing that happened to you on set?
Most of the funny stuff happened behind the scenes.
I have something for you. When we were doing the film and we were running the tests, so they're shooting in our costumes. This is kind of embarrassing. It's too rude. And I was with that other gorgeous ranger. I can't remember his name. Paul Schreier. You know, we're doing some martial artsy stuff in that bloody bikini. And we're doing the 6 count with credits rolling in to see how gorgeous or ugly you look while we're doing these things. And and then I just looked at his face. David?
Yeah, David.
And he's really nice. He's really concentrated with the 6 count. And then I just looked at his face. And I looked down. One of the girls popped out.
Didn't you also have to do wire gags with that thing?
No, I didn't end up doing any of the wire stuff. Thank God, that would have been painful.
I know what I was thinking, man.
On Turbo, I wasn't involved in the movie, except But what my job with that was to make the behind-the-scenes video for it, the whole behind-the-scenes documentary, how it was made. And I had Paul and Jason hosting it, so you can imagine how that went. But we were trying to get Austin to get in front of the camera for an interview. And we just couldn't work it out because David had working the whole time, which is his job. And so we ended up having Jason interview Austin's chair. And we're just kind of doing it as a joke, but it ended up in the final documentary, and that was my funniest moment. It was having him interview a chair. I remember the show. Hope never to again.
The chair thing keeps popping up. The other day, so check this out, okay? So I've been traveling a lot this summer. I had like 1 week at work, and I had to work like, 60 hours to get the department up to where it needs to be. And I come home at the end of the week tired. I crash on my couch, my phone rings. It's Jason Frank. I'm like, hello. Hey, Norm, it's Frank. What's happening? Hey, good. Can you tell me, what was up with you and Austin's chair?
Austin's chair?
Yeah, but you can say Austin's chair. I don't freaking know, man. I'm talking to the damn chair. What did you say earlier that you mumbled, Frank? I said you're on speakerphone. I'm on a panel. Everyone's listening. What's this last week?
Oh, man.
He did the same thing to me.
He asked you what he said to us and shared.
Gotta cut this video out. We're running out of battery.
It seemed like they were going that direction. I mean, that's all I can say. I don't think they never said it. The soccer team. There are a few episodes where they kind of were like, oh, maybe they were fire. That's what you get for falling in love. Placed.
That's funny. You know what's funny to me is that Johnny and I have never been on a panel together, and to be asked that question is it's hilarious because I've been asked without him being here, so I've never really thought about it. It seems like that's where they were going with it, but our stories never evolved, I guess you would say. I think after the first season, after the first couple of episodes in Zito, Tanya was being developed as a character, and then, after like the fifth, it was like, okay, you're just back there in the back, so whatever happens, happens. So I don't think it ever really. Thank you for fighting for it, honey.
A question for Blake?
Sure.
Wow.
Who played the person who was in your suit? Because I know you were.
Johnny! Come on!
It was me, Morphin.
Wait, what was his name? I do remember the guy's name. Akira? I don't know. Akira?
Noguchi? I don't know. Akihiro
Spoke to me in Chinese every day. We'd walk around and say, hey, what's up, Joe? Where'd you get that hat? Because I want a blue one. Hey, did you get that at Walmart? Because I need to get a blue one.
I think you stole it.
Did I steal it from you?
You bought it for me, right?
I did? I think I did. No.
Cool.
No, I don't know. It was a stunt guy, obviously, because I was like Johnny's height.
Because I'm Asian.
Or it could have been Narvi's height, I don't know.
You can't take it.
Hi. My question is for Johnny. I know in the first movie, I read that there was a problem with your stunt actor, and you ended up doing a lot of in-suit stunts. Now, I also read that the suits were like 40 pounds. What was the big challenge doing those suits over just for the regular TV suits or
have the suit stunts?
The suits were heavier and they were harder to move around in. But it was at Danny Stalkup, actually, we were doing side flips and seeing who can do the highest one or whatever. And he won. But he hit like the corner of a wall and broke his screen. That's pretty high. No, he's like a great stuntman, but just accidents happen. And he actually still did all of that helmet head stuff. I did the ninja stuff, and so it's obvious they didn't want me to do anything because it's like I didn't really do anything. I just like flipped and fell on the ground or something like that. But yeah, it's just at that moment whenever we were doing any range ninja stuff.
Okay. You have 10 minutes.
Hi, so my question is, at the time that you joined the cast of Power Rangers, you were the youngest Ranger in the history of the franchise.
Right.
So my big question was, what was your experience joining a cast of people much older, and what was the rest of the cast's experience when this young guy was joining the cast?
It was an awesome experience. I mean, obviously, I learned a lot from everybody. I was a kid. I was 12 years old. I really probably didn't learn too much, but I mean, it was a great experience all around. So.
He and I kind of mothered him. He was like our little baby brother.
Yeah.
And yeah, he was very cute and very excited.
Not no more.
Now he's tied up.
Hey guys, first of all, you all rock and thank you for what you do, all of you. Johnny, it's more about the legacy. You did the episode Once a Ranger. How did the new Rangers view you? Did they go up to you for advice? Especially when you had pretty much a Ranger for almost a few seasons, Did the Operation Overdrive Rangers seek you for advice on being a Ranger and the legacy and things like that?
Not at all. I think they were pretty confident in their Ranger. I don't think any of them asked me anything. I think I was the weird guy. There's a guy from like the older show. He doesn't have any powers. So no, they didn't. But everybody was really cool. I didn't mess around. They're all cool. It was fun. It was a good time.
Hey, I just want to say it was cool to see you and Matt Austin on the same screen. So I just want to say.
Matt's actually a good guy.
Rangers! Hey guys, so I want to say it's great to see you. I've been watching you guys since the past and the future, Samurai, Super Samurai. And I gotta say, once a Ranger, always a Ranger!
Yeah.
You guys got surprised that, this show has lasted up to this many seasons, and we're coming into the 20th anniversary. What is your take on it? What's wrong?
No, it's not a surprise because the show has been shooting in Japan since 1972.
Right.
And thank you, Toby. Because without Toby, we wouldn't have our show.
That's right.
I will say that the night before the first series premiere, I was sitting with Ryan Spawn, and he looked at me and he said, in his Israeli accent, Tony, if we get 5 years out of this show, we're going to be very lucky. So it's the only time he's ever been wrong.
Hey guys, so I know you guys have worked really hard on the TV show. What were some of the differences between filming the show and the movie, things that you used for the show that just wouldn't work on the movie set, and vice versa?
The command center was different, and then just a little bit bigger scale. But to be honest, in the second movie, the budget was really low, so we used a lot of the stuff from the show and movie. But the first movie, they had a huge budget,
Right.
so they had lots of good stuff.
Yeah, the first movie was like 60 million or something,
Yeah.
and then I don't even tell you what we did. It was
60 guys.
That's it. Actually, I just want to say one quick thing, guys. When I think about funny memories about the Power Rangers, it's about the amazing, I mean, it's about these guys too, but it's about the amazing athletes that play the Rangers, the acrobats and stuff. And I know they do things differently now, but when we were doing the movie in '96, these guys were doing all this athletic stuff, and flips and everything, and they actually, I don't know if you remember this, maybe you guys have this experience too, they actually had to be screwed into the helmets. And they used to be good for like 3-4 takes before some of them passed out. And then somebody would be like, where's the screwdriver? And they literally like screwed into these helmets and screwed out of them. And just amazing, amazing athletes. It's just one of the things.
Just to appreciate it and take it in more.
I don't know. You know, it's hard to think like that. I don't know if mentally I even knew what the heck I was into as far as the show or even just acting or anything. It was just I was working at Subway before that. So if I was making sandwiches on screen, I'd be like, the bomb. I had no idea what I was doing. I don't know. I think maybe I would just be like, take it more serious and think about it a bit more. I was just an immature kid.
So I look at everything like, damn, that was the best thing ever, you know? I wouldn't change a thing.
Alright, so the first question is, Johnny's first episode is spent like 5 minutes trying to catch a baby, and Vulcan's goal were the other 2 trying to catch it. How'd you guys feel about like all of the adults and Angel Road just being so well, it's good that they were so negligent, otherwise, when we see it, they paid their taxes and get cops that would actually defend the city against the damn thing. My second question was, I'm a kid who actually talked to you two about something. I had a lot of tough stuff going on growing up. I lost my dad when I was about 14, 15, but pretty much this show was like an escape from being broke. Sure, there's tons of people here. How do you guys feel about still back in these lives? That's it. Yes. Yeah, you guys, thank you very much for 20 years. As human beings, not just entertainers and actors, is because of you folks. It changed our lives, it changed who we are in all ways, good and bad and otherwise. Really, we are deeply, deeply indebted to you and connected.